So here's a quick walkthrough of what I think will happen at UFC 300. Right. So first up, Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. I think Alex Pereira wins it. Uh, he's a little more skilled than Jamal Hill, so I think he takes that battle. Next up, Weili Zhang versus Yan Xiaonan. I bet on Weili Zhang because again, much faster, much more technical fighter. I think Yan still needs to match up to Weili's level. Then there is Justin Gaethe versus Max Holloway. Sadly, I love Max. Max is a brilliant boxer, but I think age is catching up to him. I don't know if he'll be able to keep up to Justin this time. So, even though I love Max Holloway, this time I'm betting on Justin winning this one. Then there's Charles Oliveira versus Arman Sarukian. Now, everybody thinks that because Islam Makhachev laid down the blueprint for beating Charles Oliveira, Arman is going to follow the same and beat Charles Oliveira the same way. But a good fighter always works on his weaknesses. So, the minute he lost to Islam, I think Charles Oliveira must have gone through an entire camp of how to beat that style. And then again, his fight IQ comes into play. And I think, even though I'm betting against the odds here, Charles Oliveira takes that battle. Then there's Bo Nikal versus Cody Brundage. Bo is just way too powerful and way too strong and way too explosive for Cody to be able to beat him. So I bet all the way on Bo Nikal on this one. Then there is Jiri Prochazka versus Alexander Rakic. Alexander is just coming back. Jiri has been sharpening his tools for the past 2 years. So I absolutely bet on Jiri to take away this one. A lot of skill, a lot of power, a lot of fight experience in the past 2 years against Alexander. Calvin Kattar versus Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling is looking phenomenally strong at this weight. And I think he, with all his skills and now that new added power, he is going to lay down a beating on Calvin Kattar. Then Holly Holm versus Kayla Harrisson. Again, Holly Holm's age is way too high for her to be able to catch up to Kayla Harrison at this point. Kayla is strong as an ox, and she's going to whack Holly Holm. Holly Holm has a lot of talent and a lot of skill, but age is a factor that just plays in. You cannot play around with age, and it's going to catch up. The cardio, the strength, the recovery, everything is just downhill for Holly Holm at this point. Then there's Sodiq Yusuff versus Diego Lopez. I bet on Diego Lopez because much more well-rounded skills, excellent submission hunter. Sodiq doesn't do so well against submissions, and Diego can take strikes, land strikes, and submit. So I put the game in his favor at this point. Jalin Turner versus Renato Moicano. Jalin Turner, oh my god, if you've seen his performances in the previous few fights, you just know Jalin has everything to put down Renato at this point, and I think he takes that away. Jessica Andrade versus Marina Rodriguez. Jessica Andrade, I have to give it to Jessica Andrade. She's powerful, she's strong, she has a great ground game, power in her hands, and I think she absolutely overpowers Marina Rodriguez. Bobby Green versus Jim Miller. I love Jim Miller, obviously 100, 200, 300. He's been around for dog years, and I would love for him to have a win for a fight that he could retire on, but I think he will retire today, but that's after a defeat to Bobby Green, who again has age to his advantage, has enough fight experience, not as seasoned as Jim Miller, but then he takes away the win. He has enough to win. Then the final one, it is Deveison Figueredo versus Cody Garbrandt. All the way, Deveison Figueredo. Too much skill, too much fight IQ, too much fight experience, and very well-rounded all around. Cody is just going to play catch-up to the legend of Deveison Figueredo. So that's all for tonight. What do you think? Which are your favorites for UFC 300? Who do you think will win? Who will have the greatest upset? What is the fight you're most looking forward to? Let me know in the comments. And if you do bets and you do challenges, put them out there and let's see. Let's match our scorecards. This is Pushkaraj Shirke for Project Battlefit. Cheers.